Many people love to quote Matthew 7 and say, "Judge not, lest ye be judged." But this is a great example of why we need to read line upon line, precept upon precept, as Isaiah 28:10 tells us. You can't just cherry pick one verse and go off that. The word is connected, and yeah, this is a big case of not reading line upon line. People just say, "Oh, judge not lest you be judged," because they don't want to have to judge anyone else. They want to have this way of you do you, I'll do me. I'm responsible for my own salvation. You just look after yourself. They'll be fine. I'll be fine. They say, "I'm not my brother's keeper." You are your brother's keeper. And it comes down to pride. It comes down to fear. But anyway, let's go to Matthew 7, and we'll start from verse 1. So, whoops. There we go. "Judge not, that you be not judged. For with what judgment you judge, you shall be judged. And with what measure you mete, it shall be measured to you again." But let's keep reading. "And why behold thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but consider not the beam that is in thy own eye? Or will you say to thy brother, Let me pull out the mote out of thine own eye, and behold, a beam is in thine own eye? Thy hypocrite, first cast out the beam out of your own eye, and then you shall see clearly to cast out the mote of thy brother's eye." So, yes, it's saying, "Judge not, lest you be judged," because with what judgment you will be judged. But it goes on to say that you do need to judge, but you need to do it righteously, so make sure you're not a hypocrite. So first, and the way you do this is you start keeping the commandments. That's how you get rid of that beam in your eye, because it's talking about, one example, the Christmas tree. You need to get that out of your eye, that idolatry, that pagan idolatry. And it can be many other things, but that's a huge example of what many people are doing. And then we're going to go precept upon precept. So what is this talking about? We're going to get a second witness. And where is it? John 7. John 7:24. Hopefully it's going to focus. "So, judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment." What is righteous judgment? Because Scripture defines Scripture. We can't define it for ourselves. It's not up to our own understanding, our own interpretation, private interpretation. So if you go to Deuteronomy 6:25, it's going to tell us, where is it? "And it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before Jehovah our God, as he has commanded us." I think there's another example in Psalm 119, but basically the righteousness is keeping the commandments. That's how we have a measure to know what to judge against. And sin in 1 John 3:4 is transgression of the law. So that's how we know what to judge against. You start keeping the commandments, then you can start judging other believers against those commandments. That is the standard. Because if there's no sin, there's no transgression. If there's no law, then there's no transgression. So that would be saying the same thing as there's no sin in the world. There is sin, so there's transgression against something. It's against the 10 Commandments.